Next, I wanted to give you a quick overview of Chapter 5. In Chapter 5, we'll be dealing with banking. Just quickly to show you, I've got a blank page in front of me now, but if I go to Company drop down and hit Home Page, I now get that familiar page that we've been looking at. As you can tell, I'm still working in Chapter 3, just using that as my example for some of these. Here we're going to go into banking. You can go into banking either on the home page or use the drop-down menu. QuickBooks is very, very useful. It's so user-friendly. I just really enjoy the program for the price. In here you can write checks, checks to be printed later. If you want to print checks from the forms over here. This is where you could print. Let's see if we got any checks in the queue. Yep, there's already a check sitting in the queue to be printed. One thing that I would advise is always check this check number. Many times someone might write a manual check ahead of you and use 1427, and then you come in and load your laser checks and you start with 1427, except it's actually 1428, and all your checks are now out of order. So that's just a little sidebar on something to keep an eye on. I really like QuickBooks too for its reconciliation feature, because under banking I can go to reconcile, and under reconcile I can basically reconcile any balance sheet account. What I find this very useful for is some of my year-end accounting. If I've got a series of loan payments, line of credit, SBA loan, anything like that, mortgage, I could reconcile that. And when I reconcile it, I can print out a report, I can put it with the statement, and then I've got something for the auditors if they come in later. One of the nice features about, I just typed this number in, it should came up 0, but you would put the statement ending balance in here, and then it's not like the olden days of going through a paper bank statement and ticking and tying. You get the luxury of going through, and you can go through the bank statement and tick off the items as they clear, or you can just hold it down and drag and you get check marks. One of the nice parts too is it tells you when you reconciled. So here's my ending balance on the statement. Here's my cleared balance from my reconciliation. There's the difference is 0. Say I have an item here that does not match my bank statement. Simply highlight it, hit go to. Now you can see that I'm out to that check, and I can take a look at it and see what was going on. Very, very user-friendly, very powerful for, now it's going to ask me if I want to reconcile. I just left it without that. Very, very powerful for just the $200 program that it is. Also under banking, you'll find that this is where you can enter your credit card charges, and apparently we don't have a credit card in here, but you can set one up on the fly. I guess I should have opened Chapter 5. But your credit card charges are entered underneath banking, and then also in here, but we're not going to deal very much with it. I think the book briefly outlines a bit of it, is bank feeds. Bank feeds are basically online downloads. I've got a few clients that are on this, and they basically go out to their bank, download it, it comes directly into QuickBooks. You match up what the bank has cleared against what you've written, and it automatically feeds into your checking account and gives you a nice way to monitor items as they clear. This has been a quick overview of Chapter 5.